We're going to continue our work from Friday. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Friday, Friday, Friday. Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. So, but instead of rounding to the nearest 100, today we're going to round to the nearest 10, which you would think, why didn't we start with 10? You may go quick. Why didn't we start with the nearest 10? We started with the nearest 100. But that is going to help you with the 10s. So don't worry, because we're going to be rounding within that 100. And often you will be rounding in real life, right? We saw examples of that in our word problems. Our success criteria today is to round numbers to the nearest 10, round to estimate sums and differences, quantities, and then decide if answers are reasonable. So a lot of things to do. Let's go ahead and build our schema. So watch and learn.
It rounds to the next 10 every time. It rounds to the next 10 every time. If you see 4 less in the ones place, 4, 3, 2, go, you get 1. If you see 4 less in the ones place, the 10 stay the same, then you're done. The 10 stay the same, then you're done. Round, round, round and round. Round it up or round it down. Round is the estimator. Round it up or round it down. My teacher said to round the number 56. Round it to the nearest 10. Does it round to 50 or up to 60? I'll show you what I did right then. I looked at the ones place, it's 5 or more. That's more than halfway, I know that for sure. 56 rounds up is what I have to say. 56 rounds to 60 each and every day. Round, round, round and round. Round it up or round it. Estimator. Round it up or round it down. If you see 5 or more in the ones place. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you see 5 or more in the ones place, it rounds to the next 10 every time. It rounds to the next 10 every time. If you see 4 less in the ones place, 4, 3, 2, go, you get 1. If you see 4 less in the ones place, the 10 stay the same, then you're done. The 10 stay the same, then you're done. Round, round, round and round. Round it up or round it down. Round is the estimator. Round it up or round it down. My teacher said you round the number 44. Round it to the nearest 10. Does it round to 40 or up to 50? I'll show you what I did right then. I looked at the one place, it's 4 that's less than halfway. Nobody has to guess. 10 stay the same. Is what I have to say. 44 rounds to 40 each and every day. Round, round, round and round. Round it up or round it down. Round is the estimator. Round it up or round it down.
All right, so we're going to jump right in. Go ahead and open up your math workbooks to page 225. I'm going to do just 2 problems with you, and then you are going to work on these on your own. We will then share out and see how we did. So once you turn to page 225, you'll see there's 3 sections to this page. 225. You have to read the directions. We talked about that during our park review and our English language skills. If you don't read the directions, it's kind of unclear what to do. The first section, you have 8 numbers that I'm asking you to round to the nearest 10. But then you see something different. The directions are the same, but the next section looks different. Still says round each number to the nearest 10, but Ellie, what's different about the second section? They're in the hundreds place. So let's just review that. Let's go ahead and look at number 1 together. The number 63, Lennox. How do I know how to round 63? What would I do first? So he says, look at the ones place first. Okay, so since the 3, I've got to look at the 3 in the ones place, is lower than a 4. I round it down to 60. Excellent. Let's look at number 9, Finn. 162. I still want to round it to the nearest 10. So do I still look in the ones place? Yes. So I'm not going to do anything with the 100. I can go ahead and write the 1 for the 100, right? But now I still got to look at 62. Is 62 going to round to 60 or 70, Finn?
60, because 2 is half of 4, which is less.
Excellent. Let's do one more in the hundreds. Let's look at number 10, 741. Gabe, how would I round that to the nearest 10? Yeah, because I'm not going to change the 7 because unless the only way you're going to change a digit in the hundreds is like on number 14. If there's a 9 and a 7, right? That's going to make it go up to like 200. Okay, so the 7's going to stay there. Now I'm still looking at that ones place. There's a 1 in the ones place. What am I going to round 41 to?
We're going to round it to 40.
To 40. Okay? Right, you guys get this?
Yeah.
All right, do these on your own. Go, go, go. I'm going to give you a few minutes. Come around, see how you're doing. If you have a question, raise your hand if you would like some help. Okay? So 9 is going to go to either 0 or 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you round it to the nearest 100. All of these are wrong. Except be careful, don't round it to the nearest 100, round it to the nearest 10. There's a 2 in the one place. Okay, look at the 3, right? Now, go in the one place. Round up, it's either 0 or 10. If you get stuck on one, you can always skip it. Go to the one you can do. 78 has an 8 in the ones place. Now this one you're rounding to the nearest 10. It's going to be 70 or 80. This is 8 and a 10 in the one. 8, 5 or above, give it a shove. 1 below, take it down low. Isn't that closer to 80 than 70? It's only 2 away from 80. You got to look at the digit in the ones place, right? If it's 5 and above, you give it a shove. If it's 4 and below, you take it down low. So it's either 50 or 60 or something. The ones place is the digit on the right. So you want to make sure you're looking at that. Can I show you the digit you should be looking at? Right? If it's low, 4 and low, you're going to go down. If it's 5 and above, you're going to go to the higher. Whoa, you got this. Wow, Dave. see how we did. Gavin, number 2, how would you round 34 to the nearest 10? Mr. Sanders, can you unmute, please? All right, Reese, number 2. How would I round 34 to the nearest 10? Reese, can you unmute?
We 30.
You muted again. Oh, 30.
Answer would be
You're right, it is 30. How did you know? What did you look at?
because 4 is lower than 5, so you would do it to the nearest 10, and that would be 30.
Excellent. Okay, number 3, 78. Looking at the 8. What do you think, Ms. Katie? What would you round 78 to?
I would round 78 to 60.
Okay, so I'm going to draw you a picture, okay? We're going to look at a number line. 78 is between 70 and 80. It's not near 60. 75 would be in the middle.
And 80.
Right? So 76, 77, 78, 79. So here's 78. It's only 1, 2 away from 80, right? Look how many it is away from 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's way further. So you definitely want to round it to 80. And the 8 is 5 and above. Give it a shove. All right, number 4, 25, Leo. What would I do? That 5's right in the middle, between 20 and 30. What am I going to do?
The answer is 30.
How do you know?
I know because of the chant.
5 and
5
above.
and give it a shove.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad. All right, 57, Jensen. What am I going to round it to? Jensen, are you there?
Which one are we on?
Number 5, 57.
60. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's the number 60.
How do you know?
Because if it's 5 or over, you take it up. But if it's 4 or lower, you take it down.
I like that you knew it was between 50 and 60, right? If you were to draw a number line, it would be between 50 and 60. All right, number 6, 89, Haley Booger. What am I going to round it to?
90.
How do you know?
Because 89 is 1 less than 90.
So again, I like how Haley said that. Look up here, Madison. It's always, you got to look at the digit in the tens place. That's your first 10 that it's going to be between, right? Then what comes after 8? 8, 9. So that's your other 10. Right in the middle is 85. So 86, 87, 88, 89 is here. Look how close 89 is to 90. It's only 1 away, right? So of course you're going to round it to 90. It's 9 away from 80, so I don't want to round down. That 9 is telling me to round up. If that does not help you, the chant doesn't help you, draw a number line, and that should help you. All right, Ellie, 42. What am I going to round it to? Again, there is no 30. What's in the tens place? Oh, okay, 40. And then the other one is 50. 45 is in the middle, 41, 42. It's only 2 away from 40. All right, 92, Josh Lewis, what do you think? 90 or 100?
90.
Excellent. How do you know? Two in the ones place, 4 and below, take it down low. Okay, I think we did pretty good on that. How did you do out of 8? Show me how many you got. Wow, lots of 8s. Good job. Now, the hundreds were a little trickier because the digits go all the way to the hundreds place, but we're still rounding to the nearest 10. That was tricky. 162 should have still been 160
These two are correct.
because of the 2 in the ones place. 741 we said was 740. This one got us 309. Josh, you want to explain how to do it?
Sure. So you can bring it to 9 and you can put 1. 9. So 9 you make 10. No, I got 8.
So because it's a 9, we're between 0 and 10. So you keep the 3 because we're not rounding to the nearest 100, we're rounding to the nearest 10, and it's 310. Henrik, did that make sense? Did you get that? Okay, do the next one for me, Henrik. 255. I keep the 2, right? Because I'm not rounding to the nearest 100. I still am going to look in the ones place at that 5. Am I going to round the 55 to 50 or 60? Henrik, what do you think? How did you know? You're right. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to look at 118. You should have kept the 1. And Lennox, would I round 18 to 10 or 20? Look at the 8. 20. All right, 197, Lucas. And then this one's really tricky. It has to be 200. Why?
Because if it's 7, 5 are both doing a shove and 9 same.
So it's between 90 and 100, right? So it's going to have to go to 200 because of the 9 in the tens place. All right, 503. Noah, you're not in my math, but I want you to do it.
No, I'm kidding.
Right, I know. Isn't that funny that I did that? Abby, I'm so used to having you in all blocks. I'm just going to call on you. We're going to keep the 5, right? But we have a 3. Is that going to be closer
It's
to 10 or 0?
It's 0.
0.
4 and below.
Take it down low. 246, Madison. We're going to keep the 2, but now we're looking at 46. We go to 40 or 50. How come?
Because if you look at the 6, I think
5 and above, give it a. All right, Lila Maris. When you round a number to the nearest 10, how do you know whether to round up or round down? What do you do?
well, I know that
Hold that thought.
thank you.
Max, you need to go. Fox. All right, so what do I do, Lila Maris, to know whether to round a number to the nearest, whether to round up or down? What do I do?
So for the nearest 10, you look in the ones place.
Okay, write it down, everybody. Look in the ones place.
And then if it's a 5 or above, then you would round up. But if it's a
5 or above. Look, draw an arrow up. 4 or below. Draw your arrow down. Nice job. All right, we're going to use our rounding skills to estimate. So I want you to turn to page 226. Now we're going to actually use the skill in real life situations. So now that you know how to do it, how do we actually apply it to real life? I'm going to show you. All right, we have smoothies sold at the Juice Hut. Okay. We have to estimate the answer. We have 3 questions to go with this one. The chart at the right shows how many smoothies the Juice Hut sold yesterday. By rounding each number to the nearest 10, estimate how many smoothies the Juice Hut sold in all. What are we going to do, Henry? How can I estimate how many smoothies sold in all? What strategy can I use? What does it tell me to do? Henry Morgan, can you unmute?
Better.
I can't hear you, Henry. I don't know. Okay, Max Diesberg, how can I start this? What should I do first? Go ahead and mute yourself, Henry, if you're going to share. Or whoever is not muted needs to mute. Okay, thank you.
You can start by rounding 13 to the nearest 10.
All right, Max is telling me I need to start by rounding 13 to the nearest 10. What would that be? 10. Okay, what's the next one, Jensen? I saw you had your hand up. Everybody's doing this, right?
40.
What would it round to? 38 would round to?
Wait, 30? I mean 40.
40, right? Okay, what's next? Sunny. 44 is going to round to what? 40. 61. Cooper is going to round to what? 60. Now what do? I've rounded, but how do I find the answer? Lyric. Now that I've rounded, because it says the chart at the right shows how many smoothies the Juice Hut sold yesterday. By rounding, we just did that. Each number to the nearest 10, estimate how many smoothies the Juice Hut sold in all. What does that tell me to do, Lyric? You got to add them up. So we've got 10 plus 40 plus 40 plus 60. Figure it out. How would you solve that? There are different ways. Everybody does it differently. Go ahead and do it. Get your answers. Hey guys, you don't just sit here. You and watch me do it. You are doing it as I'm doing it. Yes? Oh. So Abby might do it different than August, right? Josh might think of it differently than Henrik. It's okay. Decide how you want to add it up, but you need to add it up. Don't forget to label your answer. What are we talking about? Pizza? What are we talking about? Smoothies. It's the smoothie hut. Or whose hut? So some of you don't have an answer, and it makes me think you're not sure how to add it up. If that's not the case, can you do the work now and actually start adding? Thank you. Where's your lipstick? Where's your unit? Right where you want it. Okay. Smoothies. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Great. Good. Good. All right, Charlie Carr. Charlie Carr, tell me what you did and why. What did you add together first?
I added 10 plus 40.
Elena, stop.
And I got 50.
Okay, he added 10 plus 40, you got 50. Added the 50 plus the 40, and he got 90, okay? All right, so now we gotta add it up. What's 0 plus 0? What's 9 plus 6? We should have gotten 150 smoothies. If you did it differently but got the same answer, give me a thumbs up. Okay, a lot of people did it differently but got the same answer. That's okay. So we know there's about 150 smoothies sold yesterday. Now let's look at number 19. So we have our answer, 150 smoothies. I just have to erase mine so we can move on. Miss Singh has 52 rock CDs, 75 jazz CDs, 36 classical CDs, and 23 hip hop CDs. We're going to round each number to the nearest 10 to find out how many CDs she has. About. Go ahead, see what you can do. On your marks, get set, go. You're going to round these numbers, right? You've got to round 52, 75, 36, and 23. Round first, then find out how many CDs she has in all. About. Round, then what operation would we use?
Addition.
Yay! Go, go, go. Go back to the text to find the numbers that you have to round and add. I like how Miranda's circling them. She's circling them in the text. That's a great strategy. Another strategy might be to cross them off once you've done it, so you get them all. There's 1, 2, 3. You have 4 numbers that you're rounding and adding. Make sure you have 4. We're trying to get an estimate. Paxton's on fire. All right, here we go. Let's pull out in the can. Evie, what did you round 50 to? 52 to? 50, all right, plus, what about 75, Evie? Ooh, good job. She knew to round up. What about 36? 40. What about 23? 20. Now you had to add those up. How did you do it?
20 and 40, then I got 60, and then it took me minutes to solve 50 plus 80, and I got 15.
130, right? And then 130 plus 60?
Was 70.
Let's try it. 130 plus 60. 0 plus 0 plus 3 plus 6.
9.
And 1 plus nothing? You're off a little bit. You have the right idea. Did anyone get 190 CDs but do it differently? Yeah, me too. I would have done the 20 and the 80 to make 100.
I did that different. I did it different.
Did you just make that
suggestion.
The only reason, third grade, if you can make a 10 or 100, it's easier.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the reason being is now I don't have to, because did you hear what Evie said? It took me a while to do 50 plus 80, because that was a challenge. Good for you, Evie. If you said 80 plus 20, you know that's 100. Can you do 50 plus 40 pretty easily? That's 90, so you got 100. It's just a little simpler. So sometimes it's good to look for a group of 10 or a group of 100. All right. Let's look at number 20. Roz rented a video that is 123 minutes long. She watched 48 minutes of it. Round each number to the nearest 10 to estimate how many more minutes she has to watch. What do we know about how many more, Paxton? Kind of a clue, right? If I were to say, Roz rented a video and she watched 48 minutes of it, and she then the next day watched 20 minutes of it, how many minutes did she read altogether, we would add. But listen to what I'm asking. I want you to visualize, right? Because these are really word problems, just like we did throughout the year, solving those. You go get a video, okay? Paxton, visualize with me. It's 123 minutes long. You only watched 48 minutes of it. How many more minutes do you still have to watch? If I add that, I'm going to get 171 minutes. Could you have 171 more minutes to watch if it's only 143 minutes?
No.
Does that make sense if I reflect?
No.
No. So how many more minutes does she have to watch? What would I do, Paxton? How many more tells me to do what? Anyone? Subtract, because it's the difference. You're trying to find the difference. So I have to round 123. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to round it to I could round it to 120. And then round my 48 minutes to 50 and subtract. Or I could round it if I wanted to just get more of a general idea. Round the first one to 100 and subtract. Which one do you think is going to give me a more accurate estimate? Which one, Lennox? 120 minus 50. It's closer, right? It's going to be more accurate. So let's go with that one. Lennox, can you walk me through it? What's 0 minus 0?
0.
Can I do 2 minus 5? No. So I'm gonna take that 10, or I could have just looked at it as 12 minus 5, right? Because it's already there. What would 12 minus 5 be, Lennox?
12 minus 5 would be, oh, 6.
You're close, so close. What is it?
8.
No?
7.
7. So one way to do that is say 5 in your head. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I call that counting up. I love that strategy. Some of you love to count back. I'm not as good at that, but you could. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Either way, you'll get the same answer. It's just how your brain works. It's different, right? Everyone's different. So now let's see if this makes sense. If Roz rented a video that is 123 minutes long, she watched 48 minutes of it, she has about 70 minutes to go, right? 70 more minutes to watch. I bet you guys can all relate to that. I know you like to watch shows, maybe on Netflix or YouTube or whatever. So 70 minutes. Okay, so here's what I'm going to have you do. You're going to work with a partner to do numbers 21 through 23. I want to read them to you and make sure everyone understands, is comprehending it before we start. You have a table on the right. It's Jefferson Elementary School. These are the books they received. And they received these probably, let's see, the total number of books the school received. So maybe somebody gave them to them, maybe they ordered them. It doesn't give much information. But they're 436 math books and 352 reading books. You are going to estimate the total number of books the school received by rounding each number to the nearest 100 first. Then number 22 says, estimate the total number of books the school received by rounding each number to the nearest 10. Then it says, find the total number of math and reading books. Which of your estimates is closer to the actual total? So then you're going to actually have to add them and not round. So you have 3 tasks. The first task is to round them to the nearest 100 and add them to find the total. The second task is to round them to the nearest 10, add them, get the total. Your third task is to actually just add them and see which estimate was the closest. All right, any questions before I put you in breakout rooms to do those 3 problems, or have you worked, you can work in a triad or in a partnership? No questions? Okay, get started. Advocate for yourself or partner. Find someone. Don't sit and wait for them to come to you. Right? Get up, you look, make eye contact. Will you be my partner? Can I work with you? Don't be shy. You got this. All right, it's 2:26, guys. Jensen, before I put you in, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just waiting. Like,
Okay.
you have to breakout
I'm
room.
gonna put you guys in triads. Okay, don't forget to join. You got this.
let's go. What animal? That's an alligator. Okay, what? All right. Thanks. Where is?
Are you doing your job? Please stop pacing around. I'm gonna go mark off tasks, right?
All right, let's done already.
Number 21, what do you need to do first?
I have no idea what we're doing.
21, 22, and 23. So let's read it. Estimate the total number of bucks the school received by rounding each number to the nearest hundred. Okay, so we got the 2, then add the 2, let's round them to the nearest hundred and find the total.
Sure, that'd be nice. I'll tell you what it is. It's 7:30. I got Oh, yeah. Thanks for
Oh, no. Gotcha. Okay. Hey, buddy, how'd the answer turn out? Okay. How do you know that? What was the deal? All right. Gonna-
I don't like this.
See all the words, and I know you probably did in your head, but you also see that word, so make sure that's right somewhere. Oh my goodness, my friend. So no, you're asking for. So let's arrange the nearest hundred. So let's estimate the total number of bucks we receive by rounding each number to the nearest hundred. So what do you round 436 to? The nearest hundred. Oh my goodness. Around this number, so I know. So the nearest hundred, 436. Stop. So it's gonna be between 400 or 500. Which one am I closest to? You didn't add those. You gotta actually. 400 or 500? Well, what's the middle? Between 400 and 500. Oh, I see. So which one's actually? Well, think about the numbers in the middle of it. 460, right?
Why is that not working?
See,
did I do that?
It's under 5. Remember, 5 and above, give it a 4 below. So down low, so it's gonna be 400.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and go over these. We're closing our breakout rooms. All right, let's see how we did. Serena, go back to your desk, hon. So go back to your seats, go back to your spots. If you are,
Elaine, if you need to go back, so Astria has the spot, so yours do that. Let's not do everything.
all right. So let's go ahead and see how we did. Josh, you said you guys finished, right? Right away. So let's see how you did. Can you walk me through rounding to the nearest hundred? The first, number 21, said to estimate the total number of books the school received by rounding each number to the nearest hundred. We had 436. What did you think that would be closer to, 400 or 500? 400. Okay, what about the math? That was math. What about the reading? Would 352 be closer to 300 or 400? Excellent. So guys, some of you were struggling with that. If you were struggling, you need to look at the digit in the tens place because Haley Booger, because we're rounding to the nearest hundred. So you gotta read those directions carefully, right? So what's 400 plus 400? Microphone answer? 800. All right. Now this number 22 is asking me to round to the nearest 10. So that was different, right? Haley, are you still with me? Can you unmute and tell me how to round 436 to the nearest 10? All right. Josh, can you tell me how to round to the nearest 10 for the math books? 436. What would I round that to? Nearest 10. We already did that one. No. If I'm looking for the nearest 10, what digit do I want to look at? I have to look at the digit in the ones place now. You should have gotten 440. Plus, if I'm looking at 352, what would I add it to? Yes, 350 because there's a 2 in the ones place. If I add 440 and 350, what do I get, Mr. Carter? Now, let's think. Don't just guess. I can tell when you're guessing. Ellie, help him out. You should have gotten 790. So we got 800 when we rounded by hundreds. We got 790 when we rounded by tens. Now, you were supposed to add them up and get the total. Haley Booker, you did a great job of this. What's 6 plus 2?
8.
What's 3 plus 5?
8.
What's 4 plus 3?
7.
So the total is actually 788. Which estimate was closer? Cooper?
800.
No? Sunny?
790.
That's only 2 away from 790. That's 12 away from 800, right? So which way would give you a better estimate? Rounding by tens or hundreds? What's going to give you a better estimate?
10.
Tens, right? It's going to be closer. So which one is closer? 790. When we round it to the tens. All right. Good practice. Go ahead and turn to page 227. 227. We are going to look at, this was another part of our success criteria today. How do we know if answers are reasonable? August? Sometimes the way we can do it is rounding. So we're going to use rounding to decide if the answer is reasonable, right? Yes or no, then find the answer to see if you were correct. We're only going to get a couple of these under our belts today, and that's okay. I'm going to use that strategy. If I do, we do, you do. So we'll probably just get a couple done, but that'll help us. Let's start with the first one. I'm going to round 93 to 90 minus 30 because 29 would round to 30. And I know that's about 60. Since I used rounding to make an estimate, 64 is pretty close. So I'm going to say, yes, that's reasonable. But now I have to actually do it and see if that works. 93 minus 29. I can't do 3 minus 9, so I'm going to make that an 8, make that 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. 8 minus 2 is 6. Was I right? Yeah, I was right. Okay, let's do the next one is actually addition. Let's do this one together. 113, let's round it to the nearest 10. We know our estimate will be more accurate. Cooper, 113. What would I round that to? Not if I'm going to the nearest 10.
Did you know you're not sharing your screen?
Uh-oh, thank you, Haley.
100 if I were rounding to the nearest 100, but I want to round to the nearest 10. What do you think, Haley? 113, if I round it to the nearest 10. You got to look at the 3 in the ones place. 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, take it down low. Am I going to round it to 110 or 120? Haley? You should have got 110. You're looking at the ones place when you're rounding to the nearest 10. All right, so let's go ahead. 57, Cooper, what would I round that to? 60. What's 110 plus 60? 170. Do you think 140 is reasonable? Thumbs up if you think yes. Thumbs down if you think that's pretty far off. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say no. Now we have to actually do it. Stack it and add it. 3 plus 7? What's 3 plus 7? Bird, what's 3 plus 7? 7 in my head. 8. 10. Excellent. Bird, what's 1 plus 1 plus 5? 7. You're so smart. And 1 plus nothing is? It actually was 170, not 140. Were we right? We were right. This was not a reasonable answer. And we were able to estimate. If I knew 110 plus 60 is 170, then 113 plus 57 is not going to equal 140. That's not reasonable. All right, try number 26 on your own. Round 83 to the nearest 10, round 19 to the nearest 10. Add them up, see if you get something close to 102. And then write yes or no, and then actually add them up and see if your estimate was right. Is that answer reasonable? Go for it. Round first, say yes or no, then do the actual work and see if it is, if you're right or wrong. What are you going to round 83 to? Write it down. No, we're not. Just sit on the back. I'll get it. What are you going to round 19 to? Go ahead and do it. You're going to get around 80 questions. All right, is that reasonable? Write yes if you think it's reasonable. So what are you rounding 83 to? You're supposed to use rounding. 83 is going to round to what? There's a 3 in the one, so the back side 80 or 90. Put this on and choose the next side. 5 and above, give it a shove. 3 and below, take it down low. And 19 is it going to round to 10 or 20? There's a 9 in the one place. Add 80 plus 20. See what you get. So I saw some of you just added and you didn't use the whole rounding. The whole point in this is to round to see if if the answer is reasonable. That's just a life skill. Check your work, right? All right. Katie, can you unmute and walk us through number 26? How would I round to 83?
You 3 is lower than 4, so you'd write 80,
Excellent.
and then 19 is greater than 5, so you'd write 20.
You get and you add those.
And and then you add them.
What do you get? Is that reasonable?
Yeah, that's what I got. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Now actually add them up. Katie, what do I get when I add 9 plus 3? Miss Katie, what's 9 plus 3? 9 in your head.
9 plus 3. 3 plus 9 equals 12. So like 2 and then put 1 on the 8 and then you get 10.
Were we right? Was it reasonable? Yes, no, maybe. How many of you agree with Katie? Nice explanation, Katie. Good job. Nice job. All right. Here is your exit ticket. It is a puzzle penguin. We are going to answer this for Puzzle Penguin. Dear math students, today my teacher asked me to estimate the answer to this problem. Miss Smith's class brought in 384 soup labels. Mr. Alvarez's class brought in 524 soup labels. About how many labels did the two classes bring in? About 800 soup labels were brought in. Is my answer correct? If not, please correct my work and tell me what I did wrong. Your friend, Puzzle Penguin. So first tell him whether he's right or wrong. And then, sorry, it's just the next page. Where did that just go? Sorry guys, somehow it just went away. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, give me 1 minute, it just went away. It's the next page. You're gonna do the puzzled penguin on the next page. It'll be on in just a minute. You're gonna rip it out with your name on it. You're gonna rip out the page with your name on it and turn it in. So we're not gonna do the bottom, just number 33. So second graders, I'll get yours from you. Leo, Gavin, the rest of you, take a picture of it and upload it to the assignment, please. It's page 228. If you need help ripping it out, I can help you with that. Make sure you put your name at the top. We're not doing the bottom. We're just answering Puzzled Penguin today. Write your name. Nobody's talking. You don't need to chat, right? Put your name at the top. Yeah. Nope. Write your name at the top. Just answer Puzzle Penguin. Okay. Once you're done with that, I will answer it. Write your name at the top. Don't worry about which one it was. Actually, wrong way. Sandora. Make sure you fix his work. Make sure you fix his work. Don't just say, no, you're wrong. You need to tell why he's wrong and correct his work and give the right answer. You have all that done, and you can turn it in when you have all that done. Have you removed your name on that?
I don't know if he's trying to the nearest hundred.
All right. If you are, can you guys hear me? Am I muted? If you want to show it to me, if it's too hard to do the picture, second grade, I can come get yours. Or just give it to your teacher and I'll get it at the end of the day. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. So if any of you want to hold up your puzzled penguin for me, you can put it there. Okay, Gavin, I'm going to have you unmute and I'm going to unplug this so not everyone hears you. Do you want to read it to me, what you wrote?
I wrote that he is long.
Okay.
And 384 will actually rounds to 400, and 524 does round to 500.
Okay. And what did you get? What should he have gotten?
900.
All right. Thank you. You can leave the meeting. Katie, you can leave the meeting. Reese, adios. Henry, you guys can leave. And I'll get your papers from your teachers. Thank you. Good job today.
Are you sure? I'm going to keep writing, okay?